It's no secret, more and more people are turning to RVs for extended use and or basically full-time living for one reason or another, whether it's by choice or by necessity. And as a result, that is starting to change the features and the things that people are looking for. And one of the things that I see more and more people asking for is washer-dryer prep in RVs. Now, when you look at like the giant fifth wheels behind me, that's pretty much a given. When you start getting into a big giant 35-foot plus fifth wheel with a bed slide, you expect there to be a washer-dryer hookup. So that's not what I want to focus on today. And because those RVs are often not in the cards for someone, either they don't have the tow vehicle or they don't have the budget for it. I wanted to try to peel out from all the RVs that I've recorded over the last year and a half, what I'm going to call unconventionally washer-dryer prepped campers. And often what this means are smaller RVs with washer-dryer prep and hookups. And it's a fine needle to thread. I don't expect a ton of people to watch this today, but I wanted to put this out there as a service to the community for a group of people that I think is a growing number of people, but maybe sometimes for uncomfortable reasons that a lot of people don't want to talk about. And I wanted to do something to try to lend a hand to help give you things to look for to maybe solve for your situation. So we're going to take a fast look at a handful of things I've found that aren't traditionally the type of RVs or the size of RVs that would include washer-dryer prep, because obviously these big suckers have it all day long. So if you appreciate how we're kind of thinking outside of the box for this one today, hit that subscribe button. And if you see something you like and you want to learn more about it, I have full-length videos and links for pricing and availability against our website here for you. Like down in the video description, you can check out anytime at your pace. Let's get started. Every now and then you see something a little different, a little fun, and I think the message with this one is that home is where you park it. Hey everybody, Josh the RV Nerd of Bishop's RV with something fun and different for you here today. A new member of the Timberwolf series from Cherokee, and some people are going to look at it and say, oh, they're building tiny homes now. They're not. They're literally not. This is not a tiny home. It is a fully self-contained travel trailer. It's just in a very different arrangement from what we've ever seen, and it has like all the things you might have in a house packed into a really small, fun little space. But what's cool about this, because it is fully self-contained, it's something, if you want to like take it out by a lake, use it sort of like a cabin. You don't necessarily have to have like on-site hookups in that. It is a travel trailer that you can use in travel trailer ways. Now, certainly you could bring it to a park and utilize it, and there's a lot of like household style appliances. Like it has an actual combo washer dryer. It has a dishwasher built in the sucker, big refrigerator. It's something that would work very well if you park it around. But like if you notice the kind of sort of off-road tires, if you want to take it somewhere where, you know, maybe you're going a little bit off the beaten path and you don't want to, you know, scrape up the sidewall of a tire, it's equipped for things like that too. All the features this has in this is really incredible, but it's no slides, it's no carpet or vents in the floor. It's simple and easy to clean. You've got like double loft sleepers. One's going to be like your main, it could be a queen bed, king bed, you could do twin beds, you could do whatever you want with it, but it's also got that, I would say forward, but actually rear mini loft that could be an attic, it could be storage, you could decorate it, it could be additional sleeping. There's all kinds of different ways that you can use this one right here. Now currently, this is in sort of the development phase that I got a hold of the video on this. There's no sort of like real solar on it right now. So one of the things I would kind of ask you folks, as we go through this video, as you digest this, as you watch this, do you think it should have no solar? It should be more of something that is kind of geared toward park use? Is it something that should have some kind of prep, maybe a basic battery tender? Should there be a big available package? And what kind of things make sense to you there? Those are all the things that, you know, I'd love to get some feedback for you on. But in the meantime, let's hop inside there, because this is a fun time. This is hands down the smallest RV I've ever seen with washer-dryer hookups. And the thing is, that's only one of like 1,400 things you could do with this little RV. Welcome back, everybody. Josh the RV Nerd of Bishop's RV, down here at Ember today, taking my very first look at their all-new series, the Ember Spark series. The thing is, if you look at this, it looks an awful lot like an E-Series that you see back there in the background. And that was literally the intentional goal. What they did here is they wanted to do every single thing they could to give you a fully functional, fully equipped
single axle, smaller, lighter, less expensive RV without really sacrificing any of the construction or, generally speaking, any of the features. I will say some of the things that are optional on the Spark are standard on the E-Series, but this was also built to be the newest, lightest, least expensive member of the Ember family. But they didn't change any of the structure. They didn't change really the running gear. It still has a lot of the things that you expect to find on this. Like by default, like we've got the 18,000 BTU variable output Furrion chill cube air on this with the handy remote control. This still has an 82-inch ceiling. That is like 8 inches taller than almost any other single axle RV out there. It's 6'10" inside. It's still a full 8 foot wide. And in case you're curious, they have about a 6,000 pound GVW on this, and they put a big, hefty, bulky axle on this. The thing is, it's not that it's a scale down. It's basically just a smaller size. It's an axle delete. It's not a decontented RV. It's just a squished down, smaller size RV. Now, if you look at this layout, if you look at their Overland series, this is basically the 191 MSL layout, but actually, I think in some ways, I like it better. This would, of the two, I would probably go with this for my style of camping, and I'll expand on that as we go through here. And again, the multi-function storage locker, whatever you want to call it, move bunk, get out the way system they have back here. You could be solo, you could be couples camping, you could be looking for a washer dryer, you could be looking for a pet palace, a catio. It can only do everything back there in the smallest trailer I've ever seen do something like that.
Have you ever asked the question or seen someone ask the question, what if this didn't have bunks? What if you put like a desk or a washer dryer hookup or something else there? What if a manufacturer actually listened and did it straight from the factory level? Welcome everybody, Josh the RV Nerd from Bish's RV down here in Wakarusa, Indiana, which is a real place, with the new 25 MKO Avenger. And if you'd have told me that Avenger was going to be the one to crack the code on office space and washer dryer hookups in a sub 30 foot stick and tin camper, I'd have said go home, you're drunk. But here we are. We have a heated belly, private bedroom. These are 50 amp service. So if you want to outfit them with a second air conditioner, you could do that. They have a ginormous front passer, very respectable awning space on this as well. And a couple brands I've seen building with this kind of kitchen living room layout where you have a theater seat kind of straight across from a kitchen entertainment wombo combo. But what it creates is a good size open feeling in a RV under 30 foot with deceptively good campside window coverage. When you sit down in it, it's not bad, with awesome countertop space. And they rethought the dining arrangement here. Like a couple brands have been doing various forms of like dining bars. They did theirs a little bit different to potentially give people a little bit more legroom. Now, housekeeping notes. This is proto number 1. There are going to be some changes that go into this. That whole desk space, it's going to get about 3 inches wider and I think like 4 or 5 inches deeper. So it's going to be a lot better fit for a laptop warrior stand. The cabinet overhead of that is going to shrink back a little bit. So it's not going to be like, oh, I should have had a V8. And on the outside, one of the other major changes is they're going to go away from the really rough, bumpy crimp trim to what in the industry we call retro trim. It is going to be 25% thicker, more impact resistant, and actually have an anti-scratch coating on it right from the factory. So keep in mind, what we're looking at here, a few changes are going to take place, but I'm excited to see what you think about this thing right here.
Oh my gosh! The 25 updates are hitting hard here? I cannot believe this is even the same company from last year.
Hey everybody, Josh the RV Nerd with Bish's RV, down here looking at something today I had to kind of see to believe. If you would have told me last year, this is what Salem and Wildwood were gonna look like now, I'd have told you, go home, you're drunk. I cannot believe the Kardashian level facelift that they've applied to this entire family. So take a look at the new face of Salem and Wildwood, and you're gonna see this all the way through their entire family.
It's hard to even remember that this is a stick and tin quote camper because of the massive level of updates that they've applied to this. I don't even know where to begin. So first of all, we're looking at one this year in the Platinum package, which is fiberglass plus their 200-watt solar package. You can get the solar separately. The underbelly's enclosed and forced air heated. And this isn't one of the View models, but they have applied a bunch of the View concepts by giving you enhanced campsite windows this year. And this thing has really awesome cross breeze capability, but they've rethought their furniture design a little bit this year. Evidently, this is something that they were kind of toying with for about 2 years and finally pulled the trigger on, where they still have a little bit of the Versa Lounge sofa sleeper seating situation, but they've kind of created what they're now calling the Versa Flex kind of dine-esque arrangement. Where it can be a little bit of anything you want. It's very similar to what you might have seen in some of like my Brinkley videos, you know. This floor plan though has always been fantastic for great storage and awesome countertop space, and that has not changed. But what's great is they moved the location of the freshwater fill so it's not between those two recliners, so you really have full flexibility in the living room. So normally people would read this as a 90-degree neck wrecker entertainment system, but when we get in it, you're gonna see I don't think it is. It also now has things like stackable washer-dryer capability and a lot of other goodness to go through. The floor plan does have maybe a couple hitches in its giddy-up, but I am pumped to show you this thing, and if you are excited to see all the new stuff they're putting out, make sure you hit that subscribe button and catch us on the next one, and for now, we gotta get going. Josh, the RV nerd of Bish's RV, down here at Cherokee seeing what's in store for 24, and I stumbled into an old friend. This used to be called the 255RR. It is a no-slide fifth-wheel toy hauler, and you haven't seen things like this in the marketplace really for a while. And when the whole kind of pandemic thing happened and production went crazy, this floor plan took a little bit longer to build, so unfortunately it got kind of put on the shelf. And I am glad to see it back in this new 256 iteration here, and better than ever, I think, in my opinion. I suppose you folks, I'd love to hear from you what you think about it. So what they did here is they plastered on even more campsite window coverage than it's ever had before. Far more, actually. And with no slides, it is simple, easy. You don't got to worry about, you know, some RVs have a slide kind of in the garage area that are kind of like this, and it can pose a problem with loading stuff. You don't have any of that here. It's as wide open as it could possibly get. And that's really critical in a camper like this because this is not wide body. So if you're familiar with kind of the Grey Wolf travel trailer toy hauler crossovers, this is sort of a fifth wheel toy hauler crossover in a sense, in that it isn't like amazingly giant large. It isn't wide body, but it still hits a lot of the really good important notes. You can still load some big stuff in here for sure. But what's cool about this one, I could see this working for somebody who's like, I want a model, you know, like a couples model or something like that in a fifth wheel, but I just don't want to slide. That is about impossible to find. This could work as a toy hauler. It could work as a non-toy hauler that just happens to have a rear patio. You could just leave the patio deck up if you don't care about all that. You could do a lot of different creative things with this. And what's really interesting this year, they've revised the upper deck compared to the old version. It is now prepped and ready for a washer dryer, which is something this division has never really done a lot of before. Black Label's also standard on these, which is interesting, along with a bunch of other fun things. So let's get in there and see what it has to offer you. Good with bad, and I'll let you know what I think, and you do the same down in the comments. Hello everybody, welcome to Bish's RV. My name is Josh the RV Nerd, and this is the front kitchen Heritage Glen behind us, or Hemisphere by Salem. It's two names for the exact same thing. And this is a model that I think has really stepped up and upgraded nicely with the 2024 updates that they've applied to this. Like the new nose cap, the new windshield on this looks absolutely awesome. Because one of the things I want to point out here is this is what's a full Heritage Glen. It's not the little brother Hyperlight model. Now, for the most part, they're almost identical, but that different nose cap is one of the signature features of this. Also, the fact that this RV has an Olympic Queen bed slide in the rear bedroom with stackable washer-dryer prep. That is something that you just almost never find in the world of travel trailers, at least nothing in this size. Usually you've got to get up to the, the big like 40-foot, basically flat deck fifth wheel trailers to accomplish that. And you're getting a lot of those big features
here in what I think a lot of people would perhaps mistakenly reference as a mid-level product, because we've got things like a motorized fiberglass roof cap on this, capability for dual air. The underbelly's heated, enclosed. It has holding tank heaters. It has a radiant barrier. This does not ride on a Lippert chassis. It's on a Norco frame. There's no floor heating vents. It's all cabinet ducted. They're carpetless throughout. There's a lot of really good, really smart content features that go into this one. But compared to some of the other front kitchens that are out there, like by Rockwood or Freedom Express or whoever, this one is a little bit longer because it gives you that full giant rear closet with the washer dryer prep, which even if you're not going to do the washer dryer, which frankly most people are not, the fact that it has all that extra storage in there is awesome. And with the versatile bed, sucking the bed up off of the floor plan, creating tons of space, you can do some RV yoga in the back of that thing.
Have you ever seen an RV with an identity crisis? This thing literally has a split personality. Hey everybody, Josh the RV Nerd of Bish's RV down here at Forest River's 2025 display. And I don't think I've ever seen a trailer with a floor plan like this. It actually kind of reminds me of some of the old school fifth wheels where instead of a rear kitchen or a rear living room, which everything is, they decided to split it down the middle. On one side, you have your living room, complete with a really cool functional desk and a basically true floor flush slide. So when you scoot that chair forward or backwards, you're not like accidentally falling backwards like your drunken Uncle Gary after one too many barley pops at the campfire. The thing is, the other side is an amazing kitchen, and wrapped all the way around that is just non-stop panoramic windows. So it doesn't matter what side of the RV you want to see out of. It doesn't matter what site you pull into. You can always see what's going on. Not to mention the fact that this thing's only about 30 foot. So it's one of the smallest opposing slide living rooms I think I've ever seen. And it really doesn't give up much. If you are nearsighted like me, good news. You don't have to grab your glasses or put in your contact lenses to watch TV. And if you kick back with your feet in that theater seat, you can totally burn your bunions because you're right next to that space heater. But if you're like my wife and your feet are basically made out of like ice packs, well, you might actually like that because it's nice to keep your toes warm. Now, they've done a lot of things differently. The whole cosmetic is completely different inside and outside. They call the Kardashians facial surgeon in to go through this thing. It's a double power awning, which is brilliant on a small RV like this. Otherwise, they'd have two things for awning space, jack and squat, and we're not suffering from that here. We have the enclosed underbelly with the solid extended season package. Also, they've changed up their air conditioning system this year. It's being done like a almost like a big luxury fifth wheel, where you have like over 33,000, I think, BTUs of cooling power in this standard. So my Texas friends, you can stay cool in that hot summer sun. It's got a couple funny hitches in its giddy up though. But I think overall it's more good than bad. But we're gonna go through this thing in great detail for you. Let me know what you think about it. And I want to hear your feedback. I think this one's a hit.
And it's worth mentioning, the list of RVs that could qualify is starting to grow, and unconventionally washer-dryer prepped is slowly becoming just conventionally washer-dryer prepped. It's like more RVs are starting to include this feature. I also want to make a quick mention, because we saw one sample of this today, but in the case of like Ember RV, any Ember whose model numbers had the letters MSL or ETS, they all now have washer dryer hookups to some degree, which I think for the most part they have the largest number of smaller campers potentially with washer dryer prep as compared to anybody else out there within the industry. But that list again does continue to grow. If there's one that maybe I've missed or one I need to look at or get on camera, leave me a note and let me know, and I can get that put on my little hit list here, which seems to grow and not shrink, but I do my best for you guys. And again, this is another list that came today at request of you folks, the viewers at home. If there's things you want to see, things you want to learn, a compilation like this, I can't get to every single request, but I can do my best. So keep them coming in, and I'll keep the videos rolling out. And until next time, take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy camping, everyone.